Awaken from Stuttering, The Truth to Perfect Speech by Deeterr and Snezhko.
According to your faith, be it done to you.
Matthew 9:29.
Revive the freedom of perfect speech in 3 days. Thanks to the knowledge about the natural norms of Usta's speech and the ability to strictly observe them, you will quickly forget about the incurable stuttering and join the universal norms of speech actions. Your normal behavior is your excellent result.
Professor Snezhko. Preface.
Awaken from Stuttering is the logical conclusion of 4 books previously published by the authors. A tale of 2 geniuses in stuttering. One lonely climb to success. Speech is a skill, and correcting speech of people who stutter. So a brief summary of the books will help you derive the most benefit from the approach. Deeterr published her first book, Stuttering Solved, in 2012. A speech therapist with 30 years of experience in Russia and the USA combined, she studied and summarized scattered information shared by independent researcher and practitioner Snezhko, who discovered the natural laws of standard speech in 1998. Snezhko currently lives in Russia and does not speak English. She then translated her book into Russian and sent it to him to check for accuracy. After he made some corrections and additions to the Russian version of the book, Anna translated it back into English and published under the title Speech is a Skill in 2014, at which they became co-authors. The book you are about to read refines the new natural approach to eliminating any form of speech imperfection, including stuttering, and, unlike other approaches, it is 100% success guaranteed. Based on many years of practical application, this approach has helped thousands of people worldwide eliminate stuttering in 3 days or fewer. As Snezhko and Deeter worked with their students, they understood on a deeper level individual needs of each person and mastered their skills for leading any stutterer quickly and reliably to a stutter-free life. The 2 pioneers of the natural approach to solving the mystery of stuttering have explained that people who stutter must change the picture of the world in their minds, because the worldviews of a stutterer and an average person are radically different. A normal person lives in a world of norms, but a person who stutters lives in a virtual world of lies and fantasies. Imagine a person who never removes a virtual reality headset. Because his sensory perception and view of reality is distorted, he behaves differently from everyone else. His reactions to various life events will be very different from how all normal people react to similar situations. Individuals who stutter are, in a sense, stuck in their own virtual reality, and the central task of this book is to help stutterers remove their headsets permanently in order to see reality through the eyes of an ordinary person. As long as those who stutter remain hypnotized by lies and distortions, they will never be able to change their speech behavior from abnormal to normal, and will be doomed to repeating behaviors that lead only to frustration and anxiety.
Does stuttering even exist?
The answer to this question is a resounding no. The so-called speech disorder of stuttering does not exist in reality, just as neither Superman nor Santa Claus exists. We don't expect to meet these fictional characters in real life and give us reliable information. Children playing with dolls may think of them as real, but part of growing up is learning how to avoid confusing such inventions with reality. When adults confuse fantasy and reality, we may use terms such as brainwashed, propagandized, indoctrinated, or hypnotized, but these terms have not been applied to stutterers and those who believe that they suffer from a disorder. Awaken from Stuttering will help you escape fantasy, take off the headset, and clearly distinguish reality from common falsehoods.
Stuttering and reality.
Stutterers often accept a great deal of misinformation. Their biggest misperception is mistakenly taking their speech difficulties as symptoms of a mysterious and incurable speech disorder, which supposedly requires long, arduous training and endless treatment. But stuttering is not a medical disorder. Instead, it is an artificially caused difficulty created through real tension in the body muscles that react to unconsciously antagonistic use of the usta. The usta is a single movable speech organ consisting of the lower jaw and connected to it the lower lip and tongue. Because there is no specific term in English to name them all at once, the authors borrowed the word usta from Russian. Correct use of the usta enables naturally normal speech. Incorrect use always leads to a tense stupor, that is, stuttering. You see, stutterers have been deceived and then endlessly treated as chronically ill patients. But is there some cure, whether pills or artificial training, to cure such delusion? No, there is no reliable method for eradicating lies. Those practitioners who believe in their so-called truth will continue to invent ridiculous methods that are as useless as attempts to polish a brick to turn it into a mirror. The result for stutterers is disappointment and exhaustion.
The path forward.
The correct natural path out of stuttering is completely different. Instead of fighting mirages and delusions, stutterers can begin to perform peaceful, naturally balanced, totally relaxed speech actions called norms, standards, or etalons of Mother Nature. The standard speech action is the natural voicing of the usta's word, the melody voiced with the usta, according to ringtones. The ringtone is one voice melody produced in one fall down of the usta. Each ringtone easily occurs automatically by itself, without any help from the speaker himself, with zero tension, and without the slightest difficulty. The medical term stuttering disorder is very frightening and stressful for people who stutter. The interpretation of the word stuttering is deliberately made confusing and turned into a mysterious obstacle for people so that it causes fear. Instead, let's use more precise and simple words such as muscle tension, deception, provocation, or difficulty. Do they scare you? Of course not. You are accustomed to the tension of your muscles when performing some difficult action in everyday life. You've tensed up many times and then relax. Nothing unusual, right? Let's say you did a few pull-ups on a horizontal bar, then stopped. Your muscles instantly return to the same relaxed state they were in before the pull-up. Or it's like in another example. If you press your finger against the wall harder and harder, you will feel the muscle tension not only in your finger, but also in other body muscles. The force of action will be equal to the force of reaction, and you'll experience a stupor of tension. In response to your statically pressing the wall, that is, to your stuporous action, your muscles respond with a tense stupor signal. Muscle stupor is nothing more than a static pressure. There is no mystery. Therefore, as we will learn, a frightening, incurable stuttering disorder does not exist. The mechanism of mental stupor is similar. Any delusion in a person's mind is like a mental wall, an insurmountable obstacle. Each attempt to turn this delusion into muscular action inevitably creates a stupor effect, both in thinking and in the body muscles. The same thing happens to people who stutter when they try to act counter to the proper natural usta technique, thereby producing a word in an unnatural, artificial way and causing tension in their muscles. But as soon as they stop this incorrect attempt, the muscles return to their natural, relaxed state as though they had not made any muscle effort at all. It is certainly wrong to think of stuttering as some sort of muscle spasm, because after a real cramp, the muscles do not immediately return to their normal working state. Instead, full restoration requires normalizing blood circulation and metabolic process in muscle tissue.
A life free from stuttering.
Medical and speech therapy organizations impose this delusion on their patients. The book, however, will help you see through deceptive methods as well as help you learn to speak naturally and without the tension that leads otherwise to failure. Follow this book from beginning to end, and you will be rewarded with a life free from stuttering.